I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. I want to go ahead and review with you the IRS financial statement and tell you what's relative on there. Anyway, my name is Mike Sullivan. Like I said, I worked at IRS for a decade. I have been doing this for 50 years. I'm a national expert in IRS matters. I am welcome to go ahead and take your questions if you want to email them to me really at a later time. So I have a whole team of former IRS agents. I just shoot these videos at home. I don't like to get dressed. You want to see me in a coat and tie, you can go to IRS, you can go to 777irs.com. I have been on national TV a number of times. At the end of the day, there's three things I do these videos for. A, so you don't get ripped off. Two, they're educational and informative. And three, like today, I'm giving you some insider information from IRS that you really need to know if you're going to deal with IRS yourself. So today, I'm going to be talking about the IRS financial statement and relative issues. I have the 433A open. I can't tell you how many of these I have filled out. I have probably filled out 10 generations of this form. So I'm just going to go over some highlights so you can see what an IRS agent is really looking at when they go through this form. I think it's really important. What I suggest you do is pull up a 433A form. It's important. The 433F is a two-page version of this. It's really a crappy version used by the Service Center. The 433A OIC is kind of the sister version for offers and compromise, but you're going to get the idea about what's going on. So if you go ahead and stop my video right now and pull up the 433A and follow along, it would be very helpful for you to do that. So I'm just going to take a quick pause. Pause me right now. Okay, welcome. We're going to look at the 433A so you can understand as an agent what I am looking at right now. So when I pull up the 433A, I'm looking at Section 1. Section 1, you may say, well, it's just my name, but what I'm doing is I'm matching that up with your tax return. I'm making sure the people you claim on your tax return are the same people that you are listing on the 433. So it kind of lets me know right away whether you're telling the truth or not. So that's what Section A is. I'm looking at really your business name, the type of corporation you have. So I'm going to expect those tax returns to be filed by you under those modules. And I'm looking at the percentage of interest. So right now I'm looking at an asset under Section 1, and I'm going to follow that up by asking for that tax return that should be going. Let's go to Section 2. I'm simply looking, yes, I'm looking at the employment information for your wage earner. I want to see if you're self-employed, if you're a wage earner. If you're a wage earner, I want to make sure you have enough withholding taken out. If you're self-employed, I want to right away find out if you're making estimate tax payments. Your occupation is fairly important. That lets me know whether you're a professional or you're more kind of a middle-class person or typical wage earner. That really plays a big role. It's setting a mindset for me as an agent. Once again, I'm looking in Section 4G as to the amount of people that you're claiming on your 1040, making sure it matches up with Section 1. As I go to Section 3, matter of fact, I'm only going to do page 1 of the 433. I'll be doing different versions. You'll just have to see my next YouTube on the 433A and go to page 2. The financial information is very important to me on Section 3. I want to find out for serious if you've been sued or not. If you have a pending suit as an agent, I'm going to look into that suit. If you have potential money coming, I'm going to send a federal tax lien and a levy to your attorney so they cannot distribute money to you. That's really important. People don't know that. The reason that's on there, that's your asset. If you are a party to a suit where you're the defendant, I really don't care. It's meaningless to me. If you filed bankruptcy, yeah, it kind of lets me know you've been in financial trouble. So I'm going to just keep that in the back of my head. If you've been abroad for 10 years, I'm going to want to know where you've gone. Do you spend money there? What do you do there? I'm going to ask questions about that travel. It should line up with the State Department passport information. 9 is kind of really, 9 is really important. It lets me know that if you have a trust or life insurance policy, I'm going to want to know that. I want to know your age because I'm going to find out if your parents are still living, and if they are, I'm going to probably ask you a question, how old they are, and is there a will? Because if you owe money, I'm probably going to go ahead and find a way to try to track money and get into that will somehow and find out. So if you're a trustee or a fiduciary and you have an asset coming your way, I'm going to look into that, and I am going to find out specifically how I can get that money. Now, I want to tell you something. If this is a simple hardship case or a payment agreement case where you're going to pay this off, I'm not interested in that. If you cannot pay or you're doing an offer in compromise and you owe a lot of debt, I'm looking into this. If you don't owe a lot of money, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, I'm not doing a deep dive here. It's really for clients that owe more money, and I'm letting you know what, as a former IRS agent, I'm looking into this. So I'm looking at number 11 to find out if you ever transferred any fair money, a fair market value of $10,000 or more real estate. I want to know if you thought this debt was coming, if you transferred money, and I want to obviously find out if you have a safety deposit box. Why? I'm going to find out what's in that safety deposit box. If I wanted to, I could seize the contents of that safety deposit box. So remember, if you're a beneficiary, a fiduciary, you have a life insurance, I'm going to drill down on that. Going to want to find out, first of all, if you have any cash surrender value out of that. If you're a beneficiary, depending on the age of your parents, I'm going to know whether you're probably going to get any money. So there's a lot of things I'm looking at just on the first page of the 433A. I hope this was helpful. I will do page 3, page 4, and on as we go on in this series. Anyway, hope this was helpful. You need help, you know who to get. You know what IRS is looking at. Give me a subscription. Thank you.